I'll never forget the night I first noticed something was off with Jessica. It was late, well past midnight, and I was sitting on the couch half asleep waiting for her to come home. She told me she was out with friends, a casual girls' night, nothing unusual. But when she finally walked through the door, her hair was slightly mussed, her lipstick smudged just enough to catch my eye, and there was this faint, unfamiliar scent clinging to her, a mix of cologne and something sweet like vanilla. She avoided looking at me directly, mumbling about traffic and a dead phone battery as she kicked off her shoes. Her voice had that tight, clipped tone she used when she was hiding something. I didn't say anything right away, but my stomach twisted. I knew her too well. The next day I couldn't shake the feeling. I asked her about the night, casual, not accusing, just curious. She said she'd been at some bar downtown with Sarah and Liz, laughing about old college stories. But her eyes darted to the side, and she started fidgeting with her necklace, a little silver thing I'd given her years ago. I pressed a bit, asking what time she'd left, and she snapped, "Why does it matter? I'm allowed to have a life, you know." That's when I saw it. A flicker of guilt, buried under her defensiveness. Later, when she was in the shower, I did something I'd never done before. I picked up her phone. The lock screen was still the picture of us from our honeymoon, smiling on a beach in Mexico, but it felt like a relic now. I guessed her password, our anniversary, and it worked. That's when I found the messages. There were dozens of them, stretching back months to some guy named Ryan. "Last night was amazing," one said, timestamped from 2 weeks ago. "Can't wait to see you again," another read with a little heart emoji. My hands shook as I scrolled, each word slicing deeper. Pictures too, selfies of her in a car I didn't recognize, her hair tousled, her smile too wide. I felt sick, like the room was spinning, but I kept reading. She'd been lying to me for so long, weaving this whole other life while I was here trusting her. When she came out of the bathroom, towel wrapped around her, I didn't even try to hide it. I held up the phone and said, "Who's Ryan?" Her face went pale, then red, and she stammered something about him being just a friend. But the evidence was right there, glowing on the screen, and she knew it. She dropped the act fast, switching to anger. "You went through my phone? That's so messed up," she yelled, like I was the one who'd done something wrong. I asked how long it had been going on, my voice cracking, and she just shrugged like it didn't even matter. "You've been checked out of this marriage for years," she said. "Don't act like you care now." That stung more than the betrayal itself, the way she turned it on me, like I'd driven her to this. The fight went on for hours, her words cold and sharp, mine desperate and raw. She didn't cry, didn't apologize, just sat there with this blank look, like she'd already moved on in her head. I asked if she loved him and she didn't answer, just stared at the floor. That silence told me everything. By the end I was done. I told her I was leaving, and she didn't even try to stop me. I grabbed a bag, threw in some clothes and walked out, the door slamming behind me. Driving away, I felt hollow, like someone had carved out my chest and left nothing behind. I ended up at my brother's place, an hour outside the city. He didn't ask too many questions at first, just handed me a beer and let me sit there, staring at the wall. When I finally told him everything, he didn't hesitate. "She's an idiot," he said. "You don't deserve that." He listened as I spilled it all. The late nights, the lies, the way she'd made me feel like I was the problem. He didn't sugarcoat it, just nodded and said, "You're better off without her." It wasn't much, but it was enough to keep me from falling apart completely. The next morning I called a lawyer. I wasn't about to let this drag on. I sent him screenshots of the messages, every damning word she'd written to Ryan, and he told me it'd make the divorce cleaner, proof she'd checked out long before I did. I didn't want her money or her pity. I just wanted out. Meanwhile, Jessica was busy playing the victim. I saw it on her social media. Vague posts about being hurt and starting over. All these friends chiming in with hearts and "you're so strong" comments. It was a performance and she was good at it. She even texted me once saying, "I hope you're happy ruining my life," like I was the one who cheated. We met one last time at a coffee shop to sort out some final details. She sat across from me, arms crossed, her face a mix of defiance and exhaustion. I told her I didn't hate her, I just missed the person I thought she was. She rolled her eyes and said, "You never really knew me then." Maybe she was right, but it didn't make it hurt less. I signed the papers and left, feeling the weight lift just a little. The divorce went through fast. She didn't fight it, didn't show up to contest anything. One day I was married, the next I wasn't, and that was it, a clean break at least on paper. The months after were rough, though. I'd wake up reaching for her side of the bed, forgetting she wasn't there, then remember why. But slowly I started to see it for what it was. She hadn't just betrayed me, she'd shown me who she really was, and I'd been blind to it for too long. Looking back, I realize how much I'd ignored. The little signs, the way she'd pull away even when she was right next to me. I'd made excuses, told myself it was normal for things to fade after years together. But it wasn't fading. It was rotting, and I'd let it happen. Now I know better. I learned that my worth isn't tied to someone else's choices. That walking away isn't weakness. It's survival. If I could tell anyone else going through this anything, it'd be this. Don't ignore the patterns. If they're lying, if they're distant, if they make you question yourself, get out. You deserve more than a half-lived love. I did, and I'm still finding my way back to that truth.